If you've been looking for a way to record interviews or meetings and you want something insanely small and really unique, there is this device called a TP-7 made by Teenage Engineering from Sweden. And Matt is going to show you the very crazy things that it can do. It's kind of wild, so stick with us. Matt, what is this and what makes it unique?
So this is the TP-7, which is a field recorder. It's part of the field kit range that TE do. Whereas some of those are a bit more kind of musically based. This deals with audio too, but it can be useful for things outside of music like interviews and podcasts and all kinds of other stuff. So essentially what we have here is quite a lot like a small like dictaphone portable recorder type thing where you've got this here which kind of works as the scrubbing control, pretending like there's a tape in there, but of course it's all digital.
Yeah. So at the top here, we can see that we've got like 3 inputs. So you could plug external things and microphones into it.
Yeah, but they're also outputs as well. So if you had some headsets with a microphone attached, let's say 3 of you, you could plug them all into the top there, get the audio into it, but also hear back your sort of like live feed, but also then listen back.
To clarify, you can plug 3 headset microphones into the top as well. Plus there is the built-in mic. Plus, of course, Teenage Engineering make this like beautiful CM15 standalone microphone, which is like a studio mic, but in an impossibly small space. But just, can you show us the basic recording? How would we record like our little like chat here, like a little 2-person interview?
So let's do that. So there are 2 ways. The first way is that we'll do now is the kind of more like we're sat down, we're ready to record, we're ready to talk about what we're going to do. So you'd press this record button to arm it, get it ready. You could probably hear the feed coming through it. So if you're monitoring it on the headphones, you know, you've got audio going into it. Yeah. And then you simply hit play.
Hi.
Hey there, how's it going? Yeah. And then you have your conversation. You can basically just leave that running for quite a while. You can set the quality to either be like a higher sample rate or lower sample rate so that you get basically a different amount of time. But there's plenty of storage on there to do long interviews.
Can you say like roughly how long could you record within this for?
Depends on the quality, but I think the size of the storage is something like 128 gigabytes.
Oh wow.
So for audio wise,
that's days.
It's a long
that's many days,
many days.
And so we're recording like this. You can see there's like a beautiful little like counter. There's a very clear red light. You know that things are going along.
Yeah.
If we want to stop, pause, listen back, what do we do?
Yep. So just to stop, you'd hit this stop button here. So if you want to listen back to that afterwards, you then just hit play.
Hi.
Hey there, how's it going? Yeah. And then you have your conversation. You can basically just leave that running for quite a while. You can set the quality to either be like and then you can grab the plate there to scrub through the audio.
That is absolutely wild.
But there's plenty of storage on there.
And then, so
yeah, you've got your rocker switch to quickly scrub through the audio as well.
I'm really sorry, but I was like could not help myself. But
of course,
you can see that there is this sort of like physical, visual, mechanical, tactile interface to this thing, which I've seen no other recording device that has this, other than obviously, you know, tapes, but you couldn't put your hand in and stop the tape, as it were. So there's this sort of like delightful mechanized concept.
But I think the size
so, and then these rocker switches are rewind and fast forward. Mm-hmm. Are there any other controls, physical controls that we would use? Or, you know?
Yeah, so to navigate through your different recordings, you've got a plus and minus button here.
So you've got your buttons to go forward and back. And I think also just the thing to say about that recording, I don't want to lead you as an audience, but
hi. Hey there, how's it going? Yeah. And then you have your conversation.
That is recorded, we're about 2 feet away from the device, recorded through this tiny little thing. I think it actually sounds really good.
Yeah, it's a very high quality, like tiny mic for as much as it can be in that kind of space. And if you need something more than that, that's where external microphones or even perhaps something like the CM15 come in.
Because I don't expect this to be like, you know, these are Shure SM7Bs, they're like high-end, you know, microphones. But that actually, that sounds surprisingly good.
Basically just leave that
before we go too much further, I know there is like an insane thing that this can do as regards like dictation. So if you are recording this to record interviews or meetings, show me the phone thing.
Okay, so we've got the app open on the phone here. What we're going to do is we're going to hold this menu button. I'm going to scroll around to the Bluetooth connection. Where is that? There it is. And then we're going to switch that on. We're going to connect it. And then from here, we can listen back.
For quite a while. You can set the quality to either be like a...
So this is the conversation we've just had. So let's hit transcribe and see what it comes out with.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So we just, by the way, shortened that. It's probably about 20 seconds or so for it to transcribe.
So when we play it back,
higher sample rate or lower sample rate, so
that tracks through.
You get basically a different amount of time. But there's
and then if you wanted to play from a certain point,
can basically just leave that running for quite a while. You can set the quality to either be...
Wait, you interpreted, you slightly fumbled the word leave, so but it got it. It's like, yeah, that's sweet.
It's using some clever tech to basically work out, you know, what you've said, try and work out sentences, pauses, phrases, and it works pretty damn well.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing just there.
So good. Like if you, having done a few interviews, my previous job, like transcribing interviews is a pain. Anyone who's done that will attest. And I know there are some like AI things that can help transcribe. They do a really good job as well, but that's just, this app is free, I assume?
Yes, yeah,
by
it's
the
free.
device.
You download it from the App Store, and then with the export, it just sends it straight to an email, so you can email it to someone or yourself, or basically take the text and rearrange it how you need. But in time, it might be that there could be identifying factors between people and different stuff like that.
Really nice.
I had noticed when I'd taken it out and about, it had identified things like background audio and music and stuff like that. And then there was some buzzing from something that I'd recorded where it just said buzzing.
Oh, really?
So it does pick up on those things, but I think in time we'll see that improve and expand. So
this is like, say we were going to record just a simple round table, or like, you know, you're a journalist, you want to record some interviews. Explain what I could, you know, how far could I take this device? Like, how many things can I connect, and how, you know, what's the total amount of microphones I could record?
Okay, so I think it would be, with this set up on its own, if you had 3 sort of mics like the CM15 or a lapel mic or like any interview style microphone, it doesn't have a preamp in there, but so long as it's amplified before it goes in, you can have 3 of those.
Okay.
To record directly. Or if you have a TX6, which is the Teenage Engineering Mixer, you can get up to 6 channel sources. So if you had a table of 6 people having like a mad podcast session, you could have every one of them plugged into each channel and then feed that in via USB-C connection between the 2.
Wow. Okay. That is the Teenage Engineering TP-7. If you have questions, please ask them below. Links below, by the way, to the TP-7 and the other teenage engineering gear. If you're interested in this sort of futuristic, like, you know, sci-fi future of dictaphone technology, then links below to pick them up from Gear for Music, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.